Welcome to the U.S. Open 8-Ball Championship, proudly presented by CueSports International and hosted here in Las Vegas at Griff's Billiards. This is our semifinals match. It is a race to 8. Alternate break, rack your own. Let's meet our two opponents for this match. First up, hailing from Chinese Taipei, we put a nice round of applause together for Mr. Jung-Lin CHANG. And his opponent from the United States of America. A nice round of applause for Mr. Tyler STYER. Gentlemen, have a great match, and you may lag for break.
And thank you, John Lehman, for such a fine introduction to the players. Jung-Lin CHANG, currently rated 5th in the world WPA. He's a 8-ball champion, WPA 8-ball champion from 2012, 2013 men's 9-ball runner-up. He's got titles and experience and game. Tyler STYER, USA. And this young man is up and coming, and he's playing at an extremely high level this past week, defeating players, highly rated, higher rated players, and just mowing them down one after the other. This will be a race to 8, as John mentioned. This is George Teacha in the booth, joined by Jeremy Jones. And here we are, Jeremy. The young man's back in it again. Last night's match has come back.
Yeah, and it was a thriller last night, Hill.
The last night of the match last night between these two gentlemen, and here we are again. 3 matches later. 2 matches later. This is actually the 3rd match for Tyler today. I think he started, yes, it is a 3rd match. He started at noon, played another one against John Mora, just finished it up, and now he's facing Jung-Lin CHANG. And if he wins this, he'll go on to face Skylar Woodward in the finals at 6 p.m. or whenever this one's over. It'll be immediately following.
Well, I'd like to shoot a shot here to get on the 1. I don't think that's really that available without taking a little chance. So maybe it's something like the 4, then the 5, then draw up for the heavy on the 3 to get on that 1 ball, and then from there it's pretty easy pickings.
You wouldn't like shooting that 6 ball off the 13 up there into the, or the 7 ball off the 13 into the 6 and come over for the 1?
A lot of movement. I think I like picking these off and then shooting the 1 and getting down on the just the natural combination. That being the 7 into the 6. Get the 5 and get the 5 next. Now the 3 to the 1 right now is real nice, but you don't want to leave the 5. So probably try to gain the same position. You should be able to handle that. You could shoot the 3 and then the 5 to the 1, but I kind of like the 3 to the 1 a little better. So I like shooting the 5 and coming back in the area he's at now, than just picking off that 3 ball.
You should have picked this off now.
Yeah, and I guess that tells me he may leave the 5 for a minute. Because you want to get on the 1 real soon. You don't want to waste any time getting on that 1 ball.
Well, is this soon enough?
I think so. Well, now he's looking at that combination. So he's not worried about the 1. Me, myself, that's the ball I'm trying to get at. I guess he feels like the 2 takes him to the 1 very easy, but where do you play the 2 that takes you to the 1 very easy?
Maybe he's going for the 1 now.
He kind of acted like he was going to shoot the 6 next. Yeah. So I don't know.
And he's
called the funny position to me.
Is he going to shoot it with a 2?
And hold for the 1?
And hold for the 1.
Yeah, you better hit this combo awfully accurate. If you hit it a little off to the left side, this ball could tie up. Yeah.
Yep.
So more than anything, I would probably shoot this with a hair more speed rather than dribbling this ball to the hole. It's got a lot less chance of something tying up if you hit it with a little more speed. It'll escape a little more. Okay, he hit the good side, so it's not going to matter either way. But
well, he just looks like he just solved the problem of the 1 ball.
Yeah, and then
the 2 ball.
Yeah, don't get fancy with inside here. Just play for the 2 next. Then you'll drop on the 7 on the bottom rail. Again, though, breaking the ball so well really gave him a lot of choices running these solids.
He's got to make sure it dribbles by that 13. He's just going to drop the cue ball, let it come off the rail a little bit, or is he just going to stun it over?
You probably usually go the rail. I mean, you could just draw up, but normally when there's a choice, you'd rather roll the ball into position.
Sure.
A little light, though. And that's the one I was talking about with Tyler. Sometimes he can be a hair too smooth on things. You want to make sure you still have acceleration, even on the light strokes. But off to the start that he wants, that's for sure. Ooh.
Oh, it's going to drop in, but it gave us all a thrill. And he's off to the start with a break and run. And that's what he started the match off last night with, too. Let's see how the match from last night holds up against tonight's match. In last night's match, Tyler won the first 2. Jung-Lin won the next 2. Then Tyler won 2. Then Jung-Lin won 2. Then Tyler won 2. Then Jung-Lin won 3 to get to 8. 2, 4. Lost 1 and won 1. So it was a real tight match and back and forth the whole time. Tyler had a couple of opportunities to win that match last night, but then so did Jung-Lin. He ended up winning it, but not after a little bit of a scare. And the break, there goes the 1, so there goes another one in the side pocket. The one, there's a yellow ball special today. The 1 ball and the 9 ball went in. He's got opening shot on the 7 ball or the 14. Either set is good. Stripes or solids. Coming back for the 3 in the side probably, and then moving up for the 2, the 4, the 6, and the 5. Now he might, because of this angle here, if he doesn't move in line for the 2 ball, which is where I thought he was going to go next, he could also shoot the 4 ball first and then the 2 ball. As long as he can hold for the 6, he'd be good to go. He's going to end up perfect here. And he's going to play the little connect the dot run out where he has the 4, the 6, the 5, and the 8 in the side. Now this is a little shot that could have won him the match earlier against Skyler. Little pinch shot.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little shot like that. He decided to bump the 8, and he got in trouble and lost the hot seat match on something similar to that shot right there.
Yeah, I talked to Skyler about that. He and I both thought he could pinch hold it or go by the 8 for the 8 in the side. He tried to run into the 8 instead.
knocked it to a bad position.
Yeah, real bad position and a
horrible.
crucial moment, too.
Well, both players doing what they can to secure their spot in the finals to face Scott or Woodward. Sixteen players were seated in this tournament. Jung-Lin was seated second with the highest Fargo. Second highest Fargo next to Shane Van Boning. Shane's is 823. Jung-Lin's is 818. 817. As you can see on the screen. And Tyler is down at 750 compared to 68 points below Mr. Chang. And with a break like this, ball on the side, another ball in the corner, 2 stripes. The availability of stripes is not really there. He's got a shot on the 14, low percentage shot on the 14. So he'll probably start with solids unless he wants to take that shot on. Don't see where he can pocket a stripe here. I think the stripes lay better than the solids do.
Oh, definitely. Once he gets a couple of them gone,
he might. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The 9 will open. The starter is the problem.
Yeah, the starter.
Is he looking at cutting that a ball and coming into something here? Is that being the 5? Hey, that's okay. I actually kind of like that.
Shoot the 5 and open up the 6-2.
Yeah.
If he does that, then he's in good shape.
Well, and the way they're sitting, the 6 should have some movement. Now, the problem is the 8. The 6 is going to move in most likely into position to where the 8's got it covered up, maybe. Meaning it's going to move towards the 13.
You know, the 6 ball does go right. Well, he's going to.
Or the 7 I'm talking about, not the 6. Yeah, oh, he missed it.
Well, let's see what Jung-Lin decides to take here. Now that the solids are opened up, he might go that route, although the 7 ball's still in a bad position.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't go to either pocket. The only pocket it goes to is, it goes to the 2 side pockets. But look how good you have to play shape to get there.
With so many choices and it being open, I probably shoot the 9-5. Or just let me look here for a second. But I think I might shoot the 9-5 and just kind of go into the 10 with the cue ball and fall underneath that 7. Because once you move the 10, also the 7 will go by the 8 pretty easily, right? So you can shoot the 9-5. He's looking at playing it clean. And sometimes don't be afraid to move balls. Now, the one thing about the 9-5 is you could cover the 4 up to where the 4 doesn't go. That's a little bit of a problem, but he's just going to play some short, tidy position on that 7 in the side, I think, by the 9. And not here on this shot, but not too long. He shouldn't wait too long on it. Man, I don't like waiting too long on it myself, but the thing is, by taking that ball off right there, George, is when he shoots that 7 from a little bit of an angle on the side, he doesn't really have anything to get on unless he leaves the 5.
Leaves the 5 ball there, yeah.
Right. So how's he do it then? I mean, you got to move the 5 to shoot the 4. So with the 5 hanging, this is where you take a chance coming down the table, like at the 10, like shooting the 1 on the side and coming down at bumping the 10. Because the 1's not really missable, first off, right? You got the 5 hanging. You're not really changing the complexion of things. But if you can come right down and bump that 10 right now, well, now you open up the 7, right? You open up the 7 to the lower pocket. Is he trying to go into something now?
Well, that 15's big. It's going to stop him. Yeah, see that 15's?
Yeah.
Well, he moved the 15.
Yeah.
Now the 7 goes by.
Right. But he's still got to get over on that side of the table.
And he's actually tied up the two stripes.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still got to get what he's looking at is still shooting the 7 in the side by the 9. But look how much more room he has to get position on it now. So it's much better. I don't think it'll be the 7 in the lower left. I think it'll be the 7 in the side to end the rack with the 8. I don't want to get super thin on this 3, but that's okay. Now he'll just lay up for the 1 in the opposite corner and then come back and get somewhat full on the 4 ball. That's what he wants to do. Once he gets somewhat full on the 4 after the 1, well, he'll drop down below for the 7 in the side. So he wants an angle here to come back across or draw into that angle. Now he's looking at shooting the 4 and coming across to the high side, like for the 7 in the same pocket. Yeah.
Okay. He's got to go way up there.
Well, he's looking at doing it right now and saying that, hey, can I spin with inside English and get on that 4? Me, myself, I stay clear of that. The 7 goes on that side. I try to get on the 4 now myself.
If he could put the cue ball right by the 13, he's perfect for the 7-4.
Right, but that's a lot of movement. I mean,
that's movement.
He's playing for the 4, and the thing is, he can check this up with a lot of high right and come across for the 7 in the same pocket.
He's got to stay beneath the side pocket, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Just come across above the. This is just that middle right English is all it is. Perfect speed. Now he can draw the cue ball if desired. He could go forward for a little cut, go the rail. It's probably maybe the shot. We'll see.
He's coming back. Only ball that can hurt him is the one just above the 8. None of them can because he went beneath it. So he stole Tyler's break. And he's put together a 1-game lead with the break. Predator World 10-ball championships. All-around leader, points leader gets a free entry into that tournament. The BCA PL World Championships, USA Pool League, National Championships, and the Diamond Las Vegas 9-ball Open. All coming to you March 11th through the 21st, 2020 at the Rio Hotel and Casino. Just go to CSIpool.com. All your info is right there. So all presented by CueSports International.
Yeah, six years worth there all the way to 2025.
Yeah, you can see the changes. They're now going to be, well, what you might want to call early spring, or might as well call it the end of winter. But in Las Vegas, there is no winter.
I mean, not snow, but
not snow.
I've been here in December many times for the Moscone when it was pretty darn chilly with that wind.
Well, let me ask you a question. When you come to Las Vegas, are you outdoors?
What do you mean?
You're in the casinos most of the time, so there is no winter. It's cool in the casinos.
Yeah, that's pool tournaments in general, but
but
they can fool you.
Yeah, they can.
Is this a dry break here? So our first dry break of the semifinal. And both stripes and solids are very runnable, but you would think he's going to lean towards the stripes.
Especially with the availability of the 11 ball.
Yeah. And
just move right up for the 9 next and then get the 2 next to where the cue ball is now.
Yeah, the 10, though. The 10's a little covered up, so wondering if he feels good enough to bump it just a hair here and keep it in good position. Like move it to there now.
He just wants to move it a little bit.
It's a little scary. because you don't want to move it on top of your other ball.
Well, it's going to move just a little, like he just noted with his finger. He kind of pointed like 2 inches over, and he'll clip just a hair of it. If he can clip as much as he wants.
That's what I mean. Do you bump it a little firmer and knock it into the 12? Okay, he did. That was like perfect, but it was a centimeter or so away from, not maybe so perfect, but was always going to have the 12 ball most likely.
Yep.
Even if he tied the 10 up a little bit, most likely the 12 was going to still be playable. Okay, I think I'm starting to think about the 14 now. And
down on the bottom, I think I'd run those 4, run them off in the section, run the 4 on the top, the 2 on the bottom, and the 8 on the side.
Right. Okay. Kind of ran the ball a lot there. Yeah. So he'll shoot the 10 and just draw back a little bit for the 12 to go in between the 1 and 3, a couple rails to get on that 14, and then come deal with this other end of the table like George was talking about to most likely end game 4. That's perfect. Just you can't ask for any better angle there. And then just nice and heavy on the 14. No reason to gain an angle. That's it there, and just kind of stop your ball, right? Make sure you're not over the 1. Nice and heavy again on the 15. You can see the 8 most likely played in the left side pocket.
Shoot the 15 next, the 13, and like Jeremy just mentioned, the 8 on the side. He got the ideal angle.
Yeah, he can fall to the bottom rail. He goes in both corners too, so meaning the low corners by the 6 and by the 13. So I think I just go the bottom rail here. Well, he's going to get a little straight, but when it's so close, you can usually cheat the pocket a little bit.
Absolutely perfect. And we're tied at 2. Both players started with a break and run. Tyler broke dry, Mr. Chang ran out, and vice versa. Now we're tied at 2. Big break coming into play again. Both players breaking the balls well. Well enough to break and run the first time up, but both players broke dry the second time. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you can't take the break for granted.
Oh, no. As easy as many go in sometimes.
Many stay out.
Yeah, exactly. We did see 5 on the break earlier by John Mora. But still the break overall just crucified him. Just kept him handcuffed at all times.
Now, is the only break he made balls?
There was one early where he was forced to shoot the solids.
Oh, right. I remember
that was kind of like an impossible run out almost. Yeah. And he ended up shooting a combination to start the rack, and it kind of moved everything out of position. So it didn't. But, yeah, he scratched on the break once. He broke dry 3 times, I believe it was, maybe 4. Okay, the ball on the sides. Gets that nice kiss in the middle of the table to open up a lot of balls. Okay, now here comes the puzzle a little bit. Because he doesn't have the greatest of starters on the stripes. And he's only got really one ball near this locked up 3 if he's talking about solids. I'll tell you, you don't do it very often because the table's got to lay so nice to do it. But the 3 is so concerning to me. I may shoot the 6 off and hold underneath the 2 to knock the 2 down by the 3 and just plant him right on the backside of the 5.
I'll start out with the safety on your second shot.
Yeah. I mean, just because of the 3 so lonely and the 7 isn't in a great position to do it, to do anything for it. I don't want to run off 3 or 4 and then not be able to get there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So unless he really has a plan for the 6, I wouldn't mind gaining position on with the solids right here, because you don't have a good shot on the stripe anyways. So you want to do something. You want to gain control of something, and then knock the 2 away and plant him behind that 5. Now I think he's coming into the balls. Maybe that's what he's looking at. Oh, he's doing what I talked about. But the thing is, you want to be able to get a ball near the 3. Because you don't plan on keeping John, you don't plan on getting ball in hand here. You feel me, George?
Mm-hmm.
Like, ball in hand's probably not going to happen. John's probably going to kick and hit one of his stripes.
But he's just planning on getting on top there. He didn't put anything down by the 3, though.
Right, man. He might not have recognized how important that was because, again, I know it was a jam-up safety.
Mm-hmm.
But to keep John from hitting one of his stripes is pretty hard to do.
Sure. He does have the 7 to maybe open up the 3.
Yeah. And that's what I was talking about earlier at the beginning of the racket. It's just not a great – I mean, where would you get – I mean, with ball in hand, you could find out a few places. But
sure.
Without ball in hand, not easy. And for John right here, he needs to simplify the hit. He's got to recognize that the 3 is a real tough ball for Tyler. Or no, excuse me, I said John.
It's okay.
I was thinking John Moore.
I was going to say Jung.
Jung, there we go. Which may be the, for Chinese Taipei, that may be their John.
It could be. It's a very common name.
So, yeah. But he needs to recognize getting a hit here can go a long ways. This is what I like, is him trying to just hit the 14. He's calling it in the side just in case.
He's playing with a beautiful Predator cue.
Okay. So he's done half the battle.
Now he's forced him to either shoot the only ball that he may be able to break the 3 ball out with, or go upstairs and shoot the 5.
I'd entertain another safety, I think. I mean, I really would. I would think it over at least. If I can get him on that back rail up there. The problem is you got to really keep him off the shot, because he has many more options when it comes to breaking open the 9 compared to Tyler trying to break open the 3.
So just go off the 5 and put him up against the head rail.
Maybe.
Just to the left of the first diamond?
Maybe. I'm trying to, man. I don't know. Something tells me maybe shoot that 7 with a follow and go into the 13 and try and open some area up, to maybe get the cue ball where it's got a path and a shot or 2 to get at that 3. I mean, he's just in a bad spot. Now, the one thing, hey, can he shoot the long distance 5 and have the 4 in the side, and maybe he ricochets off the 13 and cue ball goes towards the 3? Is that asking too much?
Well, either way you do it, he did that nicely. He got the first part of it nice, but he came back too far. Not sure if the 7 goes by. He's looking to get there, so he's going to probably come off the 2 ball to get, no, the 4 ball to get there, excuse me.
Yeah, but so does the 3 go by the 9 and the 15? That makes a
No,
huge
he's going to
difference.
he's going to try to break it open off the 7, and have the 1 for an insurance shot.
Right, but I'm saying, like, can he just play position? You sure this 3 doesn't go by that 9 right
Doesn't
there?
appear to. There's a good view of it right there, and I don't think it does.
Okay. So if so, you'd like to roll into this lightly, is what you'd like to do. If you can. Now, if you can't, that's fine. You just punch over there. But coming off the back rail's not bad either. It's very hard to get snookered coming off the back rail up on these, because you'd have to hit the 3 so fully. Otherwise, you just glance off of one of them, and then you open the cue ball up softly for the long distance 1. Be sweet if he held for the 3, and he did. What a nice shot. So again, I think Tyler Styer's 8-ball game is evolving right before our very eyes.
He's looking to get up for the 1 ball and then the deuce. And 8-ball goes to all 4 pockets on the lower part of the table.
Well, if he comes on what would be our left side of the 9, he's got to be very, very careful with the speed. Looks like he's going to go inside. I like it. Okay, now the one thing good about the underneath is he's got the corner and the side. So for me, I like playing underneath this ball. It makes it easier to move towards position on the 8 with all that traffic. Now it looks like to me he's not going to do that. Looks like to me he may
go 2 rails.
Maybe, yeah. And the thing about that is, if you get a little steep, yeah, I like underneath there. You always go towards your next target, which is the 8 when you're underneath. And it's easier to manipulate through traffic. If you get a certain angle coming 2 rails off the 2, well, you can't really change the angle. It's going to be there no matter what. Is he cueing down on this? If he's cueing down, that means he's probably coming backwards. He may be coming over. Yeah, okay, so he needs heavy. He doesn't need thin. See, now thin, he's got to deal with a lot of traffic.
Yes.
So that's why I really liked underneath. Yeah, but see, you're having to execute to get to that position. You feel like, all right, I should be able to do it. There's that should be able to do it. But when you just mishit it a hair to the pocket, well, it slows the cue ball down. And now he's got to maybe ask for a friendly bump.
I was trying to see if he went 2 rails out of the upper right-hand corner, if he'd come in right into the 13. But that's still, if he bumps the wrong ball, he could be in trouble.
Yeah, and the thing is, whenever you're afraid of bumping something, you want to put more speed on the cue ball. And if you don't bump anything, maybe you overrun position. Okay.
He's going to be okay.
All
Perfect.
right, perfect.
Maneuvered right between that little crevice, you might call it.
Yeah, and chances are he was going to come away with a shot. But whenever you offer that element up chance, it sometimes gets you. So now Tyler regains the lead at 3-2.
Mm-hmm. Now he's keeping the break. He's keeping his break. staying on break. These guys met last night, and they were hill. And I believe in the very last game, Tyler went for a breakout using the 3-ball. And he might have been able to get it if he played for the ball instead of the breakout. But we couldn't tell. I could not tell then, so. Either way, it was a tough loss for the young man. Well fought. Both players played great.
And I like seeing that Chang's not having issues racking the balls. That's can be frustrating for a player, and we don't want any frustration of, you know, besides something happening at the table, of course, that you're not in love with. But definitely, when the racking sometimes is tough, it can get somewhat old and frustrating. So watch for the 10 in the side and the 5 in the side. The 10 got kissed. I don't see. Oh, there's that kiss I was talking about at the end.
That gives you a late ball on the side?
Yeah, it does it a lot, it seems like to me. That little bitty kiss from one side or another cuts that ball backwards in the side quite often. All right. So, you know, just thinking about the 8 and the 1 and all that, you want to probably shoot stripes, but you have a 13 ball that's tied up, but you have a couple of them near it, and you have a 15 in the side that may offer to get down for position, which is what I would be shooting for. I'd probably chip the 10 in, shoot the 11, and try and get that little angle to cut the 15 in the side and come straight at that 13, because you got a couple of insurance balls there. So I think that's what I like. 10, 11, 15 in the side. Try to break the 13 out whenever you shoot the 15. If not, you still have plenty of options.
You still got the 14 to get it with, too.
Yeah, and I'm not sure you have to break it at all, really. I think it goes by the 3 once the 14 is removed. It goes in the opposite corner by the 3 whenever the 14's gone. But you still, I think, want to try and break it with the 15. Shooting that 15 in the side and just
rolling down.
Yeah, get a pretty full hit on the 15 in the side and just a hair of an angle. And that's easy to do right here off the 11.
Well, he's got the angle for it just
right. I
right.
think that's it. Exactly right. Yeah. Now he can play it actually where he could play to get on the 14 and just come around the backside of the 13 if he wants, if it goes. And I tell you, he's gotten so good on it. I may look at that as well.
I'm not sure if he's recognized that he wants to break it here. Well, yeah, I do now. Looks like he's going right for it.
Well, he hasn't looked to see if the 13 would go if the 14's gone. Maybe he has, but not sure of it. And that's sometimes the hardest decision.
Whether you want to move it or not.
Yeah, in 8-ball, hey, is it harder for me to just gain position on this short shot, or is it easier for me to break them out? Oh man,
well now he's okay.
Well,
he can play the 14 ball and come up for, I guess, well, maybe he's not okay. It's tough to get on that side of the 13 now.
I think he's got to load this up with heavy right English and try and get into the 13 off of it. Oh, and I don't know if he can do that either. So maybe he's got to swing around to the back side of this ball.
Back to the 15?
Yeah, and then the 13, yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. It kind of shocked me when he shot the 9, be honest with you. I think he may be able to load it up with inside and still get the rails are grabbing pretty nice. And the beautiful thing, yeah, but the good thing is, okay, he's not doing it. He's coming around the backside. Now, if he overhits this, it's going to be real hard to get position, meaning if he comes to the backside and gets on that rail like this, if he comes and he gets...
He's going to bounce off of it. He's perfect.
Yeah, but that's not enough, is it?
He's perfect.
Ew, I don't know about that.
Well, he's going to have to come into the ball now. And I think he can hold it. In other words, kind of cheat the pocket a little bit to the right and still hold on that side.
Yeah.
I think he's got to come all the way right at the ball.
It's going to be close. He was trying to get that third rail bounce.
Yes, I agree.
Now, one thing he could do is he could shoot this in the side and draw around a couple rails and either go into the 13 or try to play position to the backside of the 13.
Thank you, Sue. Did you have to pay for that?
I think he's going to go into it. That's what I think. He's going to try and catch a piece of it. Now, one thing also you got to look at, what's the kiss shot look like? 13 off the 3. I mean, it's close. I know that. Okay. Can he avoid the scratch?
I think if he cuts the ball, he hits the 3 and avoids the scratch.
Ooh.
And goes 2 rails for position on the 8. Am I crazy?
I don't want to hit the 3. If I can't draw the ball and hit the 3,
it looks like it scratches off the 3. Never mind.
Yeah, I think he goes right by the 3 actually and creeps out of the corner 2 rails by the 6, like you talked about, and takes that little cut shot on it.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, the heavier hit with the throw is actually helping him here. I think it's making him avoid the 3 ball. Well, he's drawing it. If he's drawing it, that means there's issues. He's trying to get just some long distance shot on the 8. Oh, he didn't really draw it anyways.
What a
he didn't really
shot.
draw it anyways.
What a pretty shot. He drew it into the rail, but short of the pocket. Avoided the 3 and executed perfectly.
Got himself in a little bit of a situation, but got himself right out of it.
We are being treated to a very nice match here. Very clean, both players picking these racks apart. In between shots like that, like he just played off that ball before the 8. Tyler breaking the balls. John Lehman in the background. And we're tied up, and the difference has been the break. Tyler got to break first. Even though he broke dry once and lost the game, he was able to steal one back, and then they both held their break these last time up. So here he is again, breaking the balls. Tied at 3 to maintain, I guess, the break.
Oh, that's perfect speed. Got a little bad kiss, but shouldn't hurt him unless he doesn't come away with a starter. And, man, these all kind of group back up together. He doesn't have a great strike. Well, he's got the 14, excuse me.
He's got the 14
Maybe
to
the
start with.
shot, really? Can he get by the 6 and the 7 and the 8 and get up into the 10 and all that, the 12?
He can play. He could play the 10 in the side, so yes.
Okay.
And that would start him off. Actually, that would work
8,
real well for him, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if he can, like, draw into a little bit of the 7 right there, just to open the 8 just a touch, because it's very doable after you do that, because you get on that 10 in the side like you talked about, you knock the 12 off, then the 15, the 13, and the 9 are playable. I don't think he could take solids here, right? How can you take solids? Oh, you can't do that. Can't take a chance on missing, Tyler. The 3 off the 9, it looks good, and if you were right there facing it, it's one thing, but he's thinking he can shoot the 3 off the 9 and get at opening the 2 ball, but I think that's pretty risky.
Well, why does he want solids if the 10 ball appears to be, you know, playable? Also, the other thing you do is play the 14 and get on the 12.
Well, that's what I was saying. Maybe shove up there, but you could just use the 10 to get on it. The only thing about the stripes I don't like is the 8. But I mean, I might take a chance right now shooting the 14, elevating, and just kind of go up into them a little bit. Now you might retie the 8 up, but I think this 3 off the 9 is a pretty tough shot. First off, especially cutting it back, and you're going to hit it with some speed because you need it. You know, it's a ricochet. But also, I guess he thinks he can open the 2 up with that by moving the 12, which he can. But man, you don't want to miss. You don't want to do all this opening of the balls and be having a chance to miss the one you're shooting at. Yeah, and now he's made it the rack probably
tougher.
Well, he made it tougher somehow by rearranging them. The 313 tied up, bunch of things tied up, and the 5-1. Well, now the 5 goes in the side though. So if he gains any kind of angle on the 5, he can brush the 1, brush the 10, and open the 1 up a little bit.
And 13, and the 3 balls a little bit. 3 balls tied up.
Yeah, the 3 is a little tied up. Solids are runnable, though. 5 goes on the side, at least they are.
Looks like he'll probably go for the 5 ball next.
Let me think. Oh, he's going for the stripes. He's cutting the 13, going into the 10. He don't even have to go into the 10, really.
Yeah,
the 10 goes.
In the corner, yeah. 10 goes in the corner.
Yeah, the stripes are actually the shot for sure. Especially you have 3 balls near the 8 to deal with the 8. The 8 goes in the right side, so I don't know why I was even looking at solids. He can just check this up and come above the 10 right now. He tried to bust it. It didn't really need busted. Now he's got a little more difficult shot on the 10.
And it's the only shot he has.
Yeah, I'm wondering why he didn't recognize the 10 was open.
He's going to want good shape on this 15 ball to come down for these 3 balls on the bottom here at the bottom bottom of the table. And he's there. He can come right between the 4 and the 3.
And he's got a couple options as far as the 8. When he does so, he can shoot the 14 off and get an angle on the 12 to come up and bump that 7-8 open and have the 9 laying. He might get to where he can draw off the 14 in into that bump shape and have the 9. So he's going to have plenty of options. Main thing here is stay off the rail with the cue ball when he comes 2 rails. because you got choices. And he's got, again, an available 8-ball on the side. So he'd like to be straight here. Now draw back a few inches and take the 12 on and just come up and just nip the.
Just barely bump it.
Yeah, just nip
push
it a
the
little
8-ball
bit.
into
Yeah,
space.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a nice handy 9-ball right there. I mean, with 3 of them there, he's definitely got some options. But coming off that end rail is a real friendly way to open balls up sometimes.
Looks like he's shooting the 9-ball here.
Yeah, well, that tells me he's not going to mess with the 8 at all. He's just going to play for the 8 in the side. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's just going to play for the 8 in that side pocket, that right side. He got a little thinner here than he wanted, didn't he?
Yes. He's got to come down.
He may have to try and pinch draw this with the right side of the cue ball rather than load it up with a lot of heavy spin. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He may have to get at the bottom side of the ball if he can. All right, he's loading it up with that right. Watch for the skid. It's going to be a light speed. Pool room getting more packed every second, it seems like.
Yeah,
got a good 300 people in here,
yes.
maybe, or something. It's pretty busy. Yeah.
It's pretty close to limits.
Yeah. The soft spin, you really do worry about it really grabbing this 14 and knocking it right into the low rail. Oh, he went and put that draw, but if he falls underneath, things could become tricky. Speed is crucial.
Does that go to that side pocket?
Yeah, it goes.
Okay.
It goes.
It just
but
looks so tight.
Thing is here,
the other angle.
He has to ease through this, and I'd go on the far side and cut it back a little bit more before this ball end up short and I don't get a shot hardly at all on it. Oh, you got perfect, I think. Yeah, great shot. Man, really trust the delivery, I tell you that. It doesn't matter if it's firm or soft one, either way.
Mr. Chang pulls that one out and takes the lead and the break. So he stole one of Tyler's breaks there.
It looks like he's going to take a timeout. We will too. We'll be right back.
And we're back with Jung-Lin CHANG leading 4-3, racking the balls and with the break. This will be the first chance this match to take a 2-game lead. He's had a 1-game lead, but then broke dry, gave up the game, went back on break, lost his own break, and was able to come back there. No, I'm sorry, he didn't lose his own break. Tyler won his.
Chang making some nice outs. Tyler as well.
We're seeing some extremely high-level quality 8-ball.
Okay, nothing yet. A 4-railer. Oh, banged in the 3, so that's going to help. And the solids immediately. Besides the opening shot, where's the opening shot? The solids look great. I mean, the 7's a little pinned there, but you can get on the cut. That's not a problem for those guys.
Cut back to 4?
I mean, maybe, but you're going to be rearranging some stuff. Yeah, maybe just simply he's got to deal with that 12 is all there is to it, just because it looks like to me that any solid he shoots at is very risky.
You know, as you say that, I look down here at this 10-9, so you take those 2 away, take the 11 away, come up for the 13, get up on that ball in the center of the 15, and get on your 12, and then you're in business.
Yeah, but I mean, where you get on the 12 at? You just get on
from
for
the
a
11
thin cut?
From the 11 or from the 13?
The 12 that's near the 7
I'm sorry, the 15. Yeah, the 15. The 15, you come on and you get on that the 12 ball off the 15 ball.
Well,
it's just one option plan I was looking at. As I see them all, you know, you figure out how do you get to it. You can get to it from, because you got to move the 3 balls on the bottom so the ball will come by.
Will go, yeah. It's just going to be thin cut. I think he's going to try to get to where he can break it. I just don't know how yet.
Okay.
Just not sure how yet, George. It's not easy. The 14 isn't the easiest ball to draw up in there. Now, one thing I might do here is take a chance on getting on that 15 in the corner to where I might be able to follow into the 12.
He's got to move the 13 first.
Well,
or you to move it.
Maybe, you know, maybe move it.
I was thinking about moving the 7 ball and shooting the 12 down.
Right. No, that would be prime. I'm just wondering how to get to the position on the 15 to move the 7. And maybe he can get almost there now.
Well, he can get there now. He can move the 7 now. But he's got to be careful to make sure he moves it out of the way of the pocket.
Yeah.
See, he's got the angle now to move it.
It's close. Is he catching the top of it? If he's catching the top, that's awfully dangerous.
Yeah, because you could go into the corner with the 14 there.
But I think he's going to go at it. I mean, we'll see. He must feel like he can get through it, you know, to where he can move the 7 out of the way and then play the 14 and have a short pocket on the 12 later. And he got it. He got it. Now he got as thin on the 14 as he can almost get, but with the 11 being there, if he can dodge this 5 and 6, he's in business.
He should be okay. Even if he clips the 6 ball here on the right, on the bottom of the table, on the right side, he'll have the 11.
Okay, to avoid everything, he's coming tight, and I don't blame him. Like that. He's coming tight to one of them other balls first, and that's just to avoid maybe running into the 6 and getting snookered or having to shoot a real long-distance shot on the 11. I think that I didn't realize that was offered, but I think that was a pretty darn good decision. Now he'll shoot the 13 and get on the 11 and then shoot the 12 last. I think anyways. No reason to try and kill the ball here so much. Just come across for the 11. So a real nice out here by Chang. And again, like all these guys, it looks like his 8 ball's on the improve as the tournament evolves.
Well, they just got done playing 3 days of 10 ball, so they had to get in that mode, I guess you might say.
Yeah, it's not often these guys play 8 ball. Even though it is, to the rest of the world, the most common pool game. On the professional side, it's not played as much.
On the professional side, you have the 10 ball, the 9 ball, the rotation, actually. And, gosh, I think even one pocket's played more than 8 ball.
It is, as a whole.
As a whole.
Yeah.
Can't say the same for straight pool, but
no.
Maybe there'll be a resurgence now that that record's been broken. And
I'm just not sure it sets up that well, you know.
Yeah, it just takes too long.
It's a beautiful game, but it's just one-sided. When it's played well, both players don't shoot much. And I love the fact that it's a points game. I do like that. That's kind of why I would love to see a professional tournament of full 15-ball rotation, 121 points, you know. Because there's points involved, I think points really would help pool. Brings in statistics. Anytime you involve numbers, now you got stats, which I think pool is lacking a little bit of at times is statistics. Okay, they hit high.
Balls to the sides didn't go.
They
the 4
high.
railers.
The
There
two
goes
ball,
no. There go
the
no.
2 ball got down, but looky here.
Okay. He's in jail.
Yeah.
He's in jail.
I've had that happen a few times.
So do you play safe?
Well, I don't see an offensive shot, that's for sure. Just touchy, though. I mean,
It's very touchy. He's got to
draw him underneath. He cuts the 12. And he's got a 14 hanging in the corner. So where do you go? I mean, realistically, where do you go?
Right on top. You have to do a perfect shot right on top of the 8.
I'm calling the referee myself here.
Same here.
If he's got to hit this ball and plant it and not let it move any further than where it's at right now, I'm definitely calling the referee. Wow, he did great.
He did it.
He did excellent.
He got it done.
Yeah, and I don't think he can get at even the bottom of the 12.
Yeah.
Can he?
He played a beautiful safety. That's snookered behind the old proverbial 8 ball.
And the reason why I say that is not even being able to get at the bottom of the 12 is you'd like to at least tie something up here, knowing you're giving up the first shot. Right?
He's handcuffed him. I'm not sure how he's going to tie something up.
Does 11 go off the 4? Can he kick it the 11 off the 4 maybe? Does that have a possibility of going?
I would have to say that's the best shot, best available shot, because if he just hits 11 full,
could ricochet in there, right?
It could, yeah. It's lined up pretty good. Sliver of hope, which is more than I see anywhere else.
Is he cutting this 12 all the way down? Can he get to the bottom of? Oh, he's looking at the kick to put him back underneath the 8. That's what he's looking at. He's looking to soft kick this ball. Man.
Soft kick at 2 rails, because can he see the rail by itself? I guess he can. Maybe he can't see the 12.
See the 12, I'm cutting it all the way down. If I can see this 12 ball, I'm taking a chance at it. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Okay. I didn't think he could see any ball but the 8.
Well, seeing it or not seeing it, Tyler becomes still he's a big favorite.
Well, let's see how he's calling the 12 in the corner.
Well, it's
Doesn't
on a
have
nice
the
line.
speed. Does it have the speed?
Wow, I
No.
hit it great, but just like you said, George, not enough speed. So
Well, open table.
yeah, and the really only concern is the 9, but he's got a nice 10 and 13, so he can get at the 9. It goes in a few places too. So, but if he wanted to bump it, it's not going to really be an issue, I don't think, with the 10 and 13 there. I think I may go rail first here and get to the other side of the table by the 5. And then if I gain that getting on the 10, I can just go right up into the 9 and 3 real easy. And I got the 15 hanging in the lower right, and I got the 13 right there.
And the 11 seems to go off the 4, so.
Yeah, it goes easily. Where's he going?
Trouble.
Well, he's got the 14, but man, I guess what he's wanting to shoot that 9-15 combination is what he's wanting to do with the 9.
Gotcha.
Which is fine. Shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, I was going to give you these. You need receipts. Thank you.
So he should come across and pick the 11 off. It doesn't have to, but he should probably. I mean, you could leave it for the 8, but I mean, I'm almost 100% he's looking at shooting the 9-15 here shortly. So I think I like getting the 11 out of there next. And then you'll shoot the 9-15 and maybe the 13-10 to get on the 8, something like that. Well, he didn't get there, so he's going to shoot the 9-15 now and get on the 11. Is that right? I don't like leaving the 11. I'm not in love with leaving the 11 till last myself, because the 8's so easy to get on.
From anywhere.
Yeah, so the 10 and 13, that whole left side between the 4 and 3 right now is a big area to get that cut shot on the 8.
And once the 9's gone, he just has to make sure he comes between the 1 and the 3. But still, getting there.
Now, one thing about this combination is be very aware how well you're hitting the 9 to the 15. You don't want to hit it thin and let the 9 come up on the 5 or up on the 6 or something like that, because it looks like he's drawing into position. So the 9 should have a little speed on it. So hit this ball heavy. Okay, that's good. Now, since he made that ball, he's going to leave the 11 for last, and that's probably correct, right? 13-10, slide over between the 3 and 1.
Yeah, just make the 13-10 and come to the 10 right to where you're at from the 10.
Right.
Oh, or from the 11. It depends how he gets on. He's fine. He'll play this. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, 13-10 on the side, yep.
I thought he didn't have an angle to slide back over to the right. He's perfect. Same shot. Just don't get behind that 1 ball.
Yeah, here again, you don't have to get dead full on the 11. That threatens the 1 a little bit, so don't be afraid to take a little bit of a cut. Oh, he got perfect. I'm always in the booth wanting to guard against trouble. I guess should ignore that a lot of times, just like the players.
Well, the problem here for Tyler is his opponent has the break.
Yeah, and his opponent is getting out from wherever the ball's lay.
That's right. So he's going to need a mistake from his opponent, just like if they were on break, Chang would need
one. Yeah,
Chang would need the break.
And probably the biggest anticipation for what you might call a mistake is probably going to be something to do with the break. If you're talking about Chang, right? Dry break, scratch, because he does seem to be running out from wherever he needs to.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a miss from him. Nor a miss shape. He's been moving the cue ball so precise that I don't see him missing position.
Okay, we got a ball stuck.
Yep.
It happens.
And it's out. What a treat to watch these two guys play. Both playing very precise. Both breaking the balls well. Trying to make sure these balls are all touching each other so that it doesn't affect the way he breaks them. Doesn't want to slug rack himself. Now, he was having this problem last night, but he hadn't until now. Keep in mind on the all-around, I actually think Skylar Woodward has it all wrapped up.
Yeah, I think we talked about that earlier, that it's Skylar having it. Once Thorsten lost, Skylar has it wrapped up, and Dennis is going to have the second place finish, I believe. Not 100% on that, but I believe that's correct.
We're pretty close on that. We'll find out, and we'll let you know at finals time. We'll talk to John Lehman, the tournament director, and get a thumbs up on the information. Make sure we're correct.
Well, I know Skylar is going to have more points than Dennis, because Dennis finished 7th, 8th here. Is that right? Or
he
9th?
Did. He finished 7th, 8th here.
And he finished second in the 10 ball. So Sky has no worse than second here and a 5th, 6th in the 10 ball. So that puts him at least one notch ahead of Dennis. And I think Thorsten fell just short with that loss catching Dennis. Oh, great break there. Now, it depends on what the balls decide to do, but he's okay. I mean, he's got a stripe he's got to deal with, and he's got a solid he's got to deal with. But man, can he squeeze that 5 by and get at the 3 right now? That would really help things.
I don't think so.
Even into the rail? No?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Maybe into the rail, between the rail and the 10. Yeah. I'm not sure the cue ball will get to it, though. See what I'm saying? I think it's froze on the 15 ball.
No, he's got a lot of room, yeah.
Oh, then he's fine. Then he can probably get there because he'll yeah, it catches it rail first. I think it makes it. It's outside the point, so it could bobble. Catches it thin.
Well, the 9 just really doesn't have much of a pocket at all. The 1's got it covered up. The 8's got the side covered up. A 2's got the upper corner covered up. So still have to lean towards solids and maybe get on that cross side bank on the 5. It's just such a hanger. I mean,
I like that.
Yeah, and then you do it early. I know. I mean, so. Yeah, he's like perfect.
He's going for it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. No hesitation.
No, it's just it should be a game winner. Got plenty of insurance. Should just hit it with a high ball, just because it's a less missed this shot coming across it with a high ball than it is with a low ball. It's kind of his choice, though. So that means he doesn't want to contact the 15 at all if he's hitting low. But easier to hit it short with a low ball. He hit it great, though. So now, do you go ahead and try and get on that 4 probably? Do you come up the rail and try and get on that 4 yeah, where he's looking there? And
that's what he's doing.
I think so.
Just going to travel straight at it.
Probably one rail just sliding
Just
like that.
yeah.
Watch how it slowly goes into position. You have to really capture that and really start to trust that. It really helps your pool game. Now, no reason to overthink it. Just don't shoot the 4 in a missable manner. If
just
you need it, stun over it softly into the 9.
Into the
That's
9.
fine.
Just draw over to the 9.
Yeah. Don't be afraid of a little bump right here. Is the point.
Can't hurt him.
It's not going to hurt anything. You probably draw perfectly on the 6 and peel off the last 2 and then the 8 in the side. Oh, no. Okay.
You thought he left it out, didn't you? So did I.
Yeah.
I thought for a second that ball might miss.
And that's kind of what I meant. I meant dragging the ball made the ball much more missable than just a little soft draw over to into the 9, right? I mean, it's still of no consequence.
I like going into the 9 ball with the cue ball, just holding it right there. It didn't really matter, though, because he's going to have these 2 balls and then the 8. Now, the 8 does not go past the 9. But it won't make any difference. It's got a corner and a side pocket. He's going to stun right up to the middle of the table. Or he could follow, but probably stun it. This gets him to 6 and now has a 2-game lead. But Tyler will be breaking. And Skylar Woodward sitting in the hot seat, waiting for these 2 gentlemen to finish up their match so they can have at him. The one thing about these guys, or Tyler for sure, is he started playing at noon, played 2 hours, then played John Mora, now playing Jung-Lin CHANG. And then he has to walk right into a match with Skylar.
Oh, he's young and full, plenty of energy. So
sure. Jung-Lin had a 2-hour rest between matches. And we were talking about how to be physical fit. Here's a good example of why you want to be physical fit to play pool.
Oh yeah, spend a lot of time on those feet.
You get here at 11 o'clock to hit some balls prior to your match. You played 2 hard-fought hours, and then 2 more, then 2 more, then 2 more. And don't think you don't get your steps. I use a Fitbit every once in a while. When I play for 3 hours, I'm at about 7,000 or 8,000 steps.
Okay, you got the 4-railer. Now, can he make the 13 off the rail, off the 6 to
move
open
the 9?
it?
For the 9. I think your answer is going to be.
I think so.
I think the answer is going to be yes, and it's going to be. He's going to show you that he can in just a second.
Yeah,
that's the only thing holding him back. Is that 9 ball?
I think it goes. And you don't. I mean, the solids you could get to the back of the 5. I mean, that's not that hard to do. There's a few different options on that, but I'll tell you, he can run the solids pretty easy actually, but shoot the 6 and move the 9 right now. Then you got the 1. You got a couple balls. You got a ball over the side that can get you. You got a 3 ball, so they can get you 1 rail to the back of the 5. He's going to go ahead and he's going to play the 6. He's going to be carrying the 6 in to open the 3, and then he'll play the 1 after that. Whoa, okay. And the reason being, he can get to the 5. The 5's really not that bad, and I would try to gain the angle on the 3 right now, meaning come 1 rail, rail first, whatever it is on the 1, to come up to the center of the table, to come 1 rail to the back of the 5. You see that? Come right, rail first, right out to the center of the table. You get a little above angle on the 3 to come 1 rail on the back. I think that's actually easier than using the 7. Gotcha. And it's a 9-ball player's shot, too. It's pretty easy. Now, it's a matter if he sees that or not. But.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple ways. You could actually even use the 2 to come around, but I guess he got 2 straight to play the rail first here on the 1.
I don't see how.
Yeah.
He should be able to go easily rail first, and he's trying to. He doesn't want to go rail first.
Well, that says he's probably getting on the 2, huh? Careful, careful.
No,
might not get anything.
On the 2.
Might not get anything except for a ball off the ball on the side.
Wow.
Yeah.
3 ball off the 6.
Yeah, that's about
off
it.
Off the 7, excuse me.
Yeah, that's about it, ball. Really. And the good thing about it is you can get out to the center of the table again, right? And then you play the 2 ball, meaning the 3 will be gone. So
2
get
ball,
out in
2 rails.
Yeah, 2 rails around to the backside of the 5, and you got to hope. And most likely the 6 will get knocked into, or the 7 will get knocked into a decent position when he plays the 3 off of it right here. I mean, he's got no choice, right? He's got to play the 3 off the 7. I mean,
that's the only shot I see.
A jump shot on the 2 is all.
And then the 7 either way.
I think he's got to cut this 3 quite a bit because he's so close to it. Closer you get, the angle becomes quick, becomes more quickly. I think he can get out to the center of the table to gain the angle on the 2 to come around in between the 13 and the 9 and to the backside of the 5. Not easy, but and you still, again, you have to depend on where the 7's going to get knocked to.
What is he?
He called the bank on the 5. And that's not so much that the bank's easier than the kiss shot. He must not just be able to see any future in getting on the 5, I guess. Right?
Could be.
I mean, I gotta think the kiss shot is easier than the bank.
Once he moves the 7, unless he makes both balls on the same shot, the 7's going to be opportunity to get on the 5.
You're right.
It's going to be down on the bottom. He'll shoot the 2 ball next.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. Top. I think he's passing up on what is correct here. But
I think this is a high percentage shot. Although, I think the 3 ball off the 7 is
pretty easy
shot.
I would go.
I think it's easier than this bank shot.
Yeah,
this bank shot's doable though.
Yeah, but as you can tell, he's got to cut it and he's got to draw it.
Yep.
So that usually lends for hitting it long on this type of table, but because it ain't going to grab with the draw as well. He hit it well, but just.
Well, he's done the good thing there.
Yeah.
But it hurts him if he gets to come back to the table, too.
Yeah, but Chang will manage that. He'll manage breaking that 14
sure.
out, you would think.
That 13 sets up real nice for that with insurance balls down here on the bottom.
And I think the 9 goes by the 2. So, if the 9's any kind of tight, don't shoot it now, but he's got all kinds of options. He can shoot the 10 off the 7 and the side, and that'll open up the 14.
He could bank the 14.
Which I like, actually. The best of anything is the 10 off the 7. That's definitely going to open the 14 up, and you can get to it early. You can shoot off either the 15 and get on the 10 right now, or you can shoot off the 11 and get on the 10 right now for the 10 in the side. Off that ball,
Off that 7 ball, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a lot of ways to open it up, so he's in good shape and could end up on the hill looking down.
And breaking. Yeah, I don't look at that bank at all. I mean, don't get me wrong, the bank's always going to be there. But he must not see. Look at the 10 off the 7. It just goes right on in, another kiss shot, and it's going to open them balls for sure.
Well, he's looking around, and he just looked to see if he can
draw off the 13.
Draw off the 13.
Well, he's going to shoot the 10 off, so it's not going to be the 10 off the 7. That's really the shot I like more than the bank all day.
Yeah, especially because you can get on the 11 ball and stop it there.
Yeah, just bump the 8 a little bit. You could shoot the 15 and roll it in and come over for the 10 off the side. He just didn't see it, I think.
Yeah,
I really think he just didn't recognize it.
He's trying to go
for the bank.
He's
trying to set up for the bank, and if he gets good, he's going to take it.
I don't think he's good.
I still shoot. If the 9 goes by the 2, I shoot the 13 and come up into him right now.
Right now, because you don't want to be moving the 11 ball prior to that. Yeah, this is.
I'm still not in love with the 13, not near as much as that 10 off the 7, but hey.
Well, that 10 off the 7 just left.
Yeah, it's Gandhi.
So hit on something else.
And he could stiff that bank in, but the bank is pretty much my last option as far as opening the 14. What about the 11 off the 7 in the side? What about that? That's perfect, too.
That, too. Maybe
he's playing safe. Yeah. He's playing him underneath the 15 now. He's giving Tyler an opportunity. If he leaves him a little piece of this 5, well, meanwhile, he didn't leave any of it.
Tucked him in real nice, didn't he? Tucked it in real nice. Rail 5 ball to the corner.
Man.
Tough shot.
I don't know. I kind of think he's calling the 2. I might kick softly at the 5 and see if
you can leave him. Well, the 12 balls over here.
Well, no, you're going to leave him a shot. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, he didn't produce the first time around on the 14. You know what I'm saying? I mean, here's where you got to weigh. Do I got a better chance of kicking this 2 ball in, or do I got a better chance of him maybe not doing what he needs to do to run out? Of course, you could try to make the 2. And then, if you don't make the 2, maybe he doesn't run out anyways. But what I mean is you secure the hit pretty easy, just soft rolling on the 5, right? And if you go at this and you give a ball in hand, he's going to figure out the run out from there.
Well,
I think anyways.
He should be able to figure it out. I mean, that 11's big off the 7. It opens right up.
Yeah, with ball in hand.
Ball in hand, it's just it's a no-brainer.
And he passed on it, maybe without seeing it on the 10. But even if he passes on it again, not sees it, he can always, with ball in hand, shoot the 13 and draw up into them balls and have a bunch of insurance.
Now he's had a moment or two sitting in his chair studying the tables, so something tells me he's going to see it pretty quick.
Does that look a little short? Okay, he might get the hit on the 5, which will help, I think.
Well, he got what you said.
Yeah, he got somewhat.
Not ball in hand.
Yeah, not
and
ball
does
in
he
hand.
see the 11 off the 7?
And can he get
Or
at it
does
so
he-
easy now
yeah.
either? Because I mean, you got to shoot the 12 and then the 15 off to get that. Now you're starting to eliminate balls that were insurance a minute ago.
And look how nice this lays. He shoots the 12 on the side, comes back for the 15 in the corner here, and then shoots the 11 off the 7.
Right.
And slides the cue ball up at the same time for the 2 balls up table.
Yeah. I think the way he's been thinking, though, he's going to knock the 12 in and get on that low rail and shoot the 13 and draw up into that 14, I think. He looked at that shot a couple times, and he can get there from here now. And for some reason, he just doesn't want to play a ball on the side off of that 7 for some reason. So I think that's probably going to be what you see here. Just kind of drag it down the table to the bottom rail. Hold that underneath angle on the 13. Yeah. His cue ball is so nice, huh?
It's pretty accurate. I mean,
yeah.
I'm telling you, he leaves it so well. And, yeah, he got the angle he needs to come down for this 14.
And he's got plenty of insurance.
Sure. Yeah, he moves his cue ball beautifully, especially the way he tucked him in underneath that 15.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, having shots like that in his arsenal already tells me, you know, if he learns one pocket, he's going to be deadly.
Yeah, and it makes a huge difference whether you freeze him on that 15 or not. If he lets him see the 5, well, now Tyler can maybe start to play some type of little maneuver on him and make things very difficult. Oh, he got the top of it. Wasn't the most convincing, and now he's gotten a little out of line. He may have to take a thin cut on the 15 here. And that's the first time I've seen him flinch on the stroke a little bit. I don't know if you noticed it as he hit. He kind of moved on it a little bit more. And
I happened to look up at the Cubbies game.
oh, no, he may not. This 15 may be too thin.
Wow, it is.
He definitely overdrew that. He wanted to hit inside the rail on the 14, and he hit the top of the 14. So
now he's shooting the ball he just broke out, the 14.
Now the thing is here, if he hits it easy, it's okay. But if he hits this with a little speed, oh, he's drawing into that ball. Or is he dragging it? He's probably dragging it. I was going to say he could double kiss this 7 and go down the rail with the cue ball if he hit high. Okay, nice shot.
Three rail follow.
Yeah, and don't land flat and straight on this 9. This is really important now.
Mm-hmm.
You land on this rail here, even with a little bit of an angle, could be very difficult to get back on the 8. So I'm very sure he's aware of that. So it's whether you float off the 3rd rail to above the 9 or you make sure you hit that 4th rail with a little bit of speed. That way you're off of it. Oh, okay, he's going to get that 4th rail with some speed and above it just enough.
Just right. Just follow straight up and down to the left side of the 8. Just center high English. Takes care of business. See, you notice I call the ones that are kind of really obvious. I'll let you call all the tough ones.
Yeah, you had to put a little bit on that to create that nice angle coming up and not flirting with the 3 ball. So nice shot there.
Good stroke. And just to get on the hill, it's race to 8, because the next match will be a race to 10. Well, Tyler's in a little bit of trouble. But if he doesn't get there, what a fine tournament he had. To end up third. And the $3,800 paycheck. John Mora finished fourth. Torsten Homan, 5th, 6th. Corey Duell, 5th, 6th. Alex Pagulayan and Dennis Arcullo, 7th, 8th. And then 9th, 12th, even though there was no money paid out for 9th, 12th, was Jeffrey DeLuna, Cheng Lu, Max Eberly, and Brandon Schuff. Strangely missing is Shane Van Boning, Billy Thorpe. In this field, I would say Kevin Chang. He should be able to finish up high there. Our 10-ball finisher, first place finisher, Marco Tutcher. Didn't finish well in the 8-ball, but really liked his finish in the 10-ball. And here we go. On the hill and breaking, Jung-Lin CHANG, your 2012 WPA 8-ball champion. Currently ranked 5th in the world.
Yeah, and he's in a great spot. 2 breaks to win the match. And he's going to get a good opportunity here with a pretty nice spread. He's got, needs a shot on the solids, but they're there.
2-ball on the side.
Yeah.
3-ball on the side.
Just got to get at that 4.
5-ball rail first.
And I'm looking here. I think it's going to be 2, then come deal with this 5, 6. Probably shoot the 4 last after the 3 maybe or something like that.
2, 5, 6, 3, 4, 8.
Yeah, I think something like that. And it may be, could be the 3-ball first and then the 2 to the 4 last. It just kind of depends. But there's a lot of room in the center of the table, so I really feel pretty confident if I was him, if I can get the 2 and the 6 and the 5 gone, that I can get from the 3 to the 4. Whether it's the 3 up in the corner and come across, or get up there for the 3 in the side and come a couple rails to get position. So I wouldn't flirt with no 4 or 5 combination here. I'd go ahead and play the.
I wouldn't flirt with that corner pocket either. Well, he's not corner hooked, I don't think. Wow.
About as much as you'll ever see him lose the cue ball, probably.
He might be corner hooked.
He might be.
If he can see the 6-ball, he's okay.
Difference. Yeah, no, he can see the 6 for sure, but
then he can cut it into the 5.
I mean,
so he's fine.
He's making a much different looking rack here if he has to shoot the 6 instead of the 5.
Yeah, because now the 4 is going to be gone.
Yeah, and who knows where the 6 is going to lay up to. If you don't hit it just perfect, it could easily get tied up on that 13.
Let's see what he can and can't do first. And by the way, for those of you that are watching closely, you can see that there, since one of the sponsors is Predator, that is the Predator chocolate they are using.
Oh, this is real dangerous. This could cut the 4 down the rail, in trouble with the 11 and the 15. Wants to catch the 4 full. Doesn't want to cut it down the rail. Oh, boy, where's it going?
Into space.
It's going to get there. Wow. Okay.
Into space.
But still, he's kind of like, he's got to shoot rail first on the 6, right? So he's still got a little bit of work.
Yeah.
If he catches this a hair thick, you don't want thick, you want thin here. If you catch this a hair thick at that angle, you're flirting with the 10-ball.
And we've all shot rail first shots on diamond tables. That one's not really inside the pocket there, so it's going to be okay. But a lot of times, you know, it sits in there and you go right by it and you say, how did I do that?
Right, air it, just air it
deep
entirely.
shelf.
But the thin hit is actually on the good side for Chang here. Like I said, if he catches it any kind of thick, he's really leaning the cue ball towards the 10. So if he wants to catch that third rail, it's fine. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's going to have a cut.
Bank?
He's going to have a cut on the 4.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. The 4 ball goes.
Yeah. But the thin was the safe side. I mean, I understand that he wanted to shoot the 3 next, but, I mean, that rail first, the thick was a dangerous side, like if he really tried to get cute with it.
Yeah, he could go into the 10.
Yeah, or get over the 10 somehow or something like that and really make a ball missable. He's right here on the brink of the finals. And the one thing is now, the 4 led to the 8 a little easier than the 3 in the corner leads to the 8. The 3 in the side leads to the 8 pretty easy.
Sure.
But I don't think he can afford to float this that much, can he?
I think I'd make sure I came down all the way down.
For the 3 in the corner,
rail.
huh?
Yeah, and hit the rail. And
back up?
And back up a little bit, yeah.
Well, he's
I wouldn't
cueing
take a
outside,
chance.
so I think he's dragging this in softly and holding for the 3 in the side. Really good
He
at this
does that
shot.
very well.
He made it off the ball. That wasn't intended. And he got a little flat here, so still not out of the woods. He can't draw past the side, I don't believe. It's real close.
I am with you.
He's got to show off his skills here, pounding this 1 rail
Off the
over.
rail.
Yeah.
And
real
it's
good
gonna
at
be a
that
good
shot,
pound,
too.
Yeah.
He's real good at that shot,
Well,
too.
he's got the stroke for just about any shot he wants.
Well, the thing about this is if he does do that, watch how clean it is. It's not just an all-out blast. Of course, it needs some speed, but it's not out of control at all, George. See that? He just trusts the roll out of the ball. You got to trust it.
That is a strong shot.
Yeah.
That's a strong, strong shot. And
I think
this
he
for
wants
the match.
the cue ball cleaned. Well, if Tyler STYER goes on to get defeated here, another great tournament and another building block for that young man. They probably hit a high ball here. You'd like to shoot it with a low ball. I like hitting it with a high ball, though. That way you just come into the back of the 13. Yeah.
And there it is. So we're going to have our hot seat match revisited.
My ball. My ball. My ball.